how you break your fast when you're intermittent fasting is the most important part of the entire thing. And I will stand behind that through and through. And the reason that most people don't talk about it is because they're lazy. They don't want to go through the actual effort to release a program or to put out any real videos or content that explains the truth. You see, most programs out there, they focus on the time frame to eat. They say you should be eating during this 8-hour window, and they'll give you basic macros. Here's your proteins, here's your fats, here's your carbs. You should eat this. And you can go combine them all together and just eat whenever you want, as long as it's during that window. If you ask me, as someone that is a science nerd and that truly is an advocate for everyone's health here, that is the quickest way that you can really mess yourself up, but also not get the results that you truly want. That's why I really want to break down some science as to how you break your fast, and why breaking your fast with specific foods and specific nutrients at very specific time intervals is really the most important thing that you need to do. And it comes down to insulin, that one hormone. We're always talking about it, but not everyone knows what it does. So let me give you a quick breakdown. Insulin opens up the cell doorway. It's the job of insulin to allow blood glucose to get into the cell so that we have energy. For example, a diabetic that doesn't produce insulin, they don't end up having the sugar go into their cell. It ends up staying in the bloodstream, causing high blood sugar. But this plays a big part for you and I that are just trying to get in good shape and trying to maintain our physiques or lose a lot of body fat. You see, this insulin tells the cell to open. All these little molecules here are sugar. The sugar goes in the cell and it gives the cell energy. Well, these blocks right here are protein. I drew them as blocks because they're building blocks of life, building blocks of protein, amino acids. Okay? These blocks can actually go into the cell too. Now, think about this. If we also have this, I'm going to draw it as a big, ugly fat cell floating through the bloodstream. Isn't that big, ugly fat cell going to go right into storage too? That's how we get fat. So if we were to just be fasting for a long period of time and then just have our basic macros of our proteins, our fats, and our carbs at one point in time, that insulin is going to cause this to happen. That is exactly why I came out with the fast break strategy, which is a huge part of my intermittent fasting program. Okay? It's a specific window with targeted types of proteins, fats, and carbs, telling you specifically at the end of your fast, here's the amounts of proteins and the amounts of carbs and the amounts of fats that you should eat to make sure that this mess doesn't happen. When you're fasting, your insulin sensitivity increases. What that means, when you do eat, your body's going to produce more of this. It's going to produce a lot of it because you're sensitive. You haven't been eating for a while. So once you do eat, it explodes with that, which means this is exacerbated. It's like times 5. It's exacerbated, hardcore. So that means this problem could be a lot worse, which means that when we break our fast, we want to make sure that we have just the right amount of protein and just the right amount of carbs with very little fat, unless it's a very specific type of fat, which I'll get to in the program. Okay? That is how we control this so that we don't get the fat, but we do get the carbs and we do get the protein in the cell. Better recovery, better feeling, and then you also open yourself up to be able to eat whatever you want or have a little bit more flexibility a couple hours down the line. Because this insulin sensitivity is no longer an issue. You've already disrupted it. So once you break your fast with the right meal, you open up a lot more opportunity to have more flexibility. And that's what I explain in the Science-Based Six-Pack program. I go through some exquisite detail on how insulin works, but I also make it very simple and just give you the cut and dry breakdown so you don't have to worry about the science. The science is there if you want to see it, but the program is there if you just want to believe me with it. Now, I want to explain to you what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow, the Science-Based Six-Pack program is going to launch. But remember, okay, it's very limited for who can get it. It's going to be just a small window of opportunity for you to take advantage of it right out the gate. Because tomorrow, we're really launching it with some amazing things. You're going to have exclusive access to the program. You're going to get my story and my program that made me transform from 280 pounds to where I am now, or at least played a huge part in it. You're gonna have a lot of recipes as well as recipe videos that break everything down, a huge video library with all the time under tension workouts, the entire video library, and you're gonna get some supplements if you take advantage of it tomorrow. So make sure you stay close by so that you can take advantage of the science-based six-pack program that is finally launching. And all of this science is gonna make so much sense to you because your body's just gonna work. I can't wait to see you tomorrow.